What's going on, everybody? My name's Danny, and today we are taking a look at the trophies in the PlayStation Plus Essential Collection for March 2024 and seeing if any of these games have good trophy lists. Each game this month does feature both a PS4 and a PS5 version of the game, meaning you can get a potentially up to 6 Platinum trophies this month just from these games alone, although really I wouldn't recommend it for one of these games especially. Our list for this month features what I would consider a video game masterpiece with a respectfully challenging trophy list, the latest Formula 1 racing game with honestly one of the worst trophies I have ever seen, a DLC for a free-to-play game that honestly no one is really going to care about, I think, and lastly, a piece of garbage that you can platinum in under an hour. Just like last time, we are going to be ranking these games into bronze, silver, and gold based on their trophy lists and how enjoyable I feel that they are to play. Coming up first, not even making the list, we have the Witch Queen DLC for Destiny 2. Despite being one of the more highly rated DLCs for Destiny 2, the Witch Queen DLC is a mostly pointless addition for this month, especially regarding trophies. Being over 2 years old at this point, no active Destiny 2 player will be needing this DLC, and frankly I can't imagine too many players will pick up Destiny because of it. And importantly for this video specifically, because it's a DLC, that means that there's no platinum attached to it. The platinum is tied to the free-to-play game Destiny 2, which you can get without having the DLC. This DLC does not provide access to a platinum trophy. And especially this DLC doesn't even provide trophies of its own. So we're just at the bottom of the list because it has no trophies tied to it, no platinum, no DLC, nothing. It has no trophies tied to it. The only benefit this DLC provides you as a trophy hunter would be to make the platinum in the base Destiny 2 a little bit easier. But that's not enough for me to put it on this list, even if honestly the bronze and silver games this month are pretty lacking. Picking the game that deserves the bronze this month was pretty hard. In terms of trophy hunting, we have two really bottom of the barrel picks. On one hand, there's a pretty decent game that has a mind-numbing trophy list, while the other game is a platinum you can get in an hour, but is one of the worst experiences I have had playing games. At the end of the day, this list and this video are about trophies, so the bronze spot this month has to go to F1 2023. I don't enjoy racing games that much, so I personally had never really planned on playing this, but knowing about this game's trophies makes me want to avoid it entirely. 90% of this game's trophies seem easy enough, mainly revolving around completing the story mode and completing various miscellaneous objectives both in the story mode and just in the various different game modes. The Elite Racer trophy, however, is a killer to any casual trophy hunter who plans to go for this game's platinum. Elite Racer just very simply asks you to reach the Elite tier in online ranked mode, Elite being the highest tier in the game. To reach Elite, you need to progress through 6 different ranked tiers, from Bronze to Elite, with the potential to skip tiers along the way. The problem comes with the actual rank up process, because even if you are the best player in the world, it takes at least 3 weeks of near constant play to reach Elite tier. Each week, you are put into your deserved ranked tier, starting at Bronze. During the week, you are placed into a division bracket with other players, and the top percent of players in that bracket get promoted to the next tier, with the very top of larger brackets being able to skip their next ranked tier entirely. This then goes on for as many weeks as needed until you hit Elite, or you frankly just give up. This process can take anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks depending on skipping tiers, and assuming you rank up every week you play the game. The guide on PSN profiles gives it a 7 out of 10 difficulty, with roughly 70 hours to platinum. Very barely beating out F1. Our silver game this month is Hello Neighbor 2. Hello Neighbor 2 is the second main installment of the somehow popular Hello Neighbor series, and is quite frankly one of the worst games I have ever played. It's supposed to be a tense puzzle game where you have to solve various puzzles while hiding from various enemies trying to attack you, but all in all, it just feels tedious. At this point, I've played the game for about an hour, and it genuinely is one of the worst experiences I've had. From getting lost and finding a forest where I was just chain dying to actually making it to my objective and then chain dying and even following a guide on how to do things and getting skill issued, it's just personally not fun for me. The only reason it takes silver out instead of F1 is because the trophy list is incredibly easy and can be completed in under an hour if you follow a guide and get lucky. The only thing you really need to watch out for is that most guides out there are outdated. It seems like at some point last year, the game had a pretty big update and overhauled various puzzles throughout the game, so most of the guides online just don't work anymore. Hello Neighbor 2 does not have a guide on PSN profiles, but if I had to guess, it would come in at about a 1 or a 2 difficulty and take about an hour to complete. Before we get into our gold game for this month, please remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content like this. Saving easily the best for last, Sifu takes the gold spot for March 2024. Sifu is an incredible game that has amazing combat and, as weird as this sounds, a new take on having a limited life total system, and encourages replaying the game to make more out of each playthrough and permanently unlocking techniques for later playthroughs. This game is incredible and brutally hard, which might sound like a negative for this list, but a post-launch update added an easier and a harder difficulty with no trophies attached to completing the game on any specific one. So if you're not interested in the challenges game provides, you can have a slightly easier experience while going through this wonderful game. This game technically does require at least 2 playthroughs, one to kill all of the bosses and one to spare all of the bosses, but the actual game is short enough that it's not too tedious of a process. The only trophy that does seem definitely hard, regardless of the difficulty you play on, is Prodigal Child, for beating the game while being 25 years old or younger. You start the game at 20 years old, and every time you die, your death counter goes up by 1. And when you die, you respawn while aging up by the number on your death counter. So dying once brings you from 20 to 21, and then dying a second time without resetting the death counter brings you to a +2, making your age go from 21 to 23. So you only have anywhere from 2 to 5 lives throughout the entire game. But please don't let this deter you from trying this game though. It is genuinely so much fun and so rewarding once you get the hang of it, which I still haven't, but I'm enjoying myself regardless. The guide on PSN profiles does give it a 3 out of 10 difficulty and takes about 15 hours to complete, although I imagine this is implying that you're playing on the easier difficulty. The game also does have 2 sets of DLC trophies, however they are both tied to free updates to the game, so there is no purchase necessary for the game's 100%. And that wraps up the PS Plus Essential Games list for March 2024, and while it was a mostly disappointing month, Sifu really saves it. I've already played it so much, and I'm loving every second of it. And as much as I hated my experience in Hello Neighbor 2, I can't deny that having a PS4 and PS5 Platinum that takes less than an hour each is pretty nice. Let me know in the comments down below which games you're going to try to Platinum this month, if any, and if you got any done last month. I had planned on getting Steel Rising done last month, but Helldivers 2 had completely overtaken my life, as you guys might see in a week or two. I was, however, able to get Rollerdrome done pretty easily with all of the assists enabled. So, last month was a bit of a success. Thank you guys very much for watching the video all the way through. If you're interested in more content that I make, here is a video that I made on me getting the Platinum in Evil West last month. And I hope you guys do enjoy watching this video and any other video I make, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.